Minecraft. Map 11 has two names. Indeed, Lorgon 111 also has two names. It's Brian, aka Lorgon 111, and we are here for more exploration and tactics. Last time we suffered a setback, but today we will rebound and get right back on the horse. Let's get started. Welcome back to Exploration and Tactics with Brian, and I am pretty naked because, if you recall, last time, at the end of the last episode, I was mining some redstone ore that fell into some lava, and I wanted that ore so badly that I just jumped in after it. No, I got a little careless, and so we need to gear back up, and we have plenty of materials to do so, and so this will give me an opportunity to try out a different recording and editing technique that I have not used before, and so I will be curious to see how it turns out. And if it works, it means I'll be able to kind of cover a bit of ground pretty easily in terms of all the tedious bits of inventory management and whatnot, showing you the various essentials, but moving quickly, kind of montage style. You'll recall that I have these two pieces of moss stone in my inventory, because we found two zombie dungeons previously that we need to record the counts of over in the Hall of Structures. And so there we go, we're up to 7 zombie dungeons. And happily, when you have all of the materials and farms kind of already available at the ready, things are a lot easier in terms of re-gearing up, even if there are some bits that are a bit more tedious and annoying than others, such as trying to dig up enough gravel to get some flints to create some more arrows to go with your bow. Sigh. But in the end, this will hopefully be a relatively quick montage as we get ourselves back in a good state with all of the essentials in our inventory that we'll need for kind of basic travels. And so hopefully a short gearing up video montage is all that I will need in order to be back on my feet, because I'm already feeling pretty good. At the same time, I definitely had to dip into a lot of inventory stores here. But at this point, I have armor, I have basic tools, I have some food, etc., etc. And so I think I will immediately head back over to the Extreme Hills and do some more caving, simply because it's one of those cases where I want to get right back up on that horse after falling off. So let's get started. Hee, that was fun to record. I hope that it will be as much fun to edit and that it will turn out as well as I am hoping. But I believe, finally, with this, we are basically back in a great position to start going caving again, because hopefully I remembered, yes, to put a Silk Touch pick over there as well. Awesome. So I went ahead and just edited that kind of first bit, and it came out pretty good. The way that I'm talking is a little bit stilted, because that was all live commentary, and so that I then just kind of spliced all together, and so I had to remember where I was kind of mid-sentence each time. And yeah, so that part made it a little bit awkward when I was listening back to it, but overall it went pretty well, and that was a nice way to do kind of a different little montage. So yeah, I like taking little setbacks like this as an opportunity to do something a little bit, different or otherwise from what I'm accustomed to doing. But yes, like I said, I want to get right back on the horse, and so we are going to go do some more caving with this inventory, and once again, I have a few topics lined up to talk about while we go caving, and so I'm going to head downstairs and see you guys down there. And so here we are, back at somewhere we have been 2 or 3 times before, and we've gone in kind of different directions each time, and it looks like there's some more darkness down here. And so we'll just start lighting this up. I just kind of dug a staircase down into cave systems, and then we're just kind of lighting everything up. And over time, we'll come back and kind of mine out all of the resources. And I didn't even look. I do have a fair bit of coal on me already, and so I won't be too worried about it yet. And already, We have a bunch of skeletons. Could just be that we had a group of 4 of them spawn naturally, but there's always the outside chance of a skeleton dungeon, which would be exciting. I think probably not, now that I'm not seeing any other skeletons starting to appear. And yes, okay, topics for the day. First of all, I want to see if we are indeed at a dead end. It looks like this is going to be a dead end. Yes, you get a feel for when the tunnels are just getting narrower and narrower. So topics. So I often talk about kind of other YouTube Minecraft stuff that I have been watching. And of course, one of those is Ooj playing Final Fantasy II. You guys know that I played through Final Fantasy II. Yes, basically kind of soon after the map came out, I went ahead and started that and played it back in 1.2.5 or whatever version of Minecraft it was previous to this one. And yeah, enjoyed that map by 3.2, and now Ooj is playing it in multiplayer in 1.3. And they had been, it's a slightly updated map relative to the version that I had played, and so it has some more difficult traps in a few places after 3.2 updated the map. Because you may recall, I've pointed out that Simon Mell actually did a playthrough of Final Fantasy II, the kind of original, I'm not sure if it was the original version, but the version that I played through. I want that coal. And managed to play through the entire map without dying, which is incredible. Like, anytime you're on one of those, you know, difficult survival maps that you can do that without dying, that's just kind of an amazing feat. And so 3.2 did update the map to make it harder, but the combination of the map being harder, as well as it being 1.3 and the mobs being glitchier, and or, you know, in multiplayer the mobs are always glitchy anyway. Yes, in some of the last couple of areas, Ooj is really having some trouble struggling with the map, and so have been critical of 3.2 as a result. And yeah, some of it is perhaps warranted because it does get very hard in some sections, and some of it is, I feel like they're, I don't know, being a little bit slackers. Like, they tend to try to just kind of run and blitz through the map, whereas I'm a more kind of like sit back and thoughtful and farm and make sure I have good inventory for attacking different things. And so, you know, there's different play styles, and definitely what they're doing, especially when you have a bunch of people that need to get together and record. Yeah, it's a whole lot easier to do when you can kind of try to blitz through the map and take advantage of what recording time you have, so you don't have to do farming and stuff like that. But in any case, I'm sad to see that they're kind of like having so many struggles at the end, because I think it's totally taken away from their enjoyment of the map, and I enjoyed the map a lot when I played through it. And I didn't bring any speed potions along this time, but I can at least sprint through some of these tunnels when I have the opportunity. And yeah, so it seems like it's kind of a sad ending for them on that map. Most of it was fun, and even as they're really struggling here at the end, like, I'm still finding that it's kind of fun to watch and seeing the kind of dynamic and the interaction of the 3 of them getting upset and kind of like raging at the map and how they interact with each other during those portions. Yeah, but I hope they're able to finish the map. And yeah, who knows if they'll ever do another 3.2 map in the future, but I expect that I probably will. At the same time, I have never yet played through a Vex map, which it seems like everybody who's played these maps plays Vex maps. The 3 survival, challenge, whatever you call them, maps that I have done have been Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy II, both by 3.2, and Good's 404 challenge map, which, speaking of everything being a Legendary ripoff, after the fact, I'm not sure that I had seen all of Legendary before I played that map. That was the first kind of challenge map that I did, Good's 404 map. And yeah, it also seems like a bit of a Legendary ripoff, but it was fun and a good kind of introduction to the genre, and definitely, I think, helped improve a number of my kind of like tactics and fighting skills and whatnot. So it was a nice way to kind of like break in to doing those kinds of maps and things. And yeah, but I haven't played a Vex map. And of course, the Vex map that I need to create some more. Torches, torches, torches! Brian needs a whole lot of torches and didn't realize he already had sticks in his inventory. Oh, Brian. And I believe that was a phantom footstep that I just heard. it is a bug. It is not on the list of Brian hates the game bugs. But yes, it seems like you will walk around and then you will stop moving and you'll go into your inventory or craft something. And then like 5 or 10 seconds later, you'll get one more footstep that's like your own footstep. And I've been noticing this a lot lately. And I don't know what is up with that. And so it's kind of it's a minor bug. It's not one that I'm going to get, like totally annoyed about, but it is a distraction. And so I hope they manage to fix that bug as well as all the other bugs that I want them to fix. And we're kind of going off very much kind of in one direction, but that's okay. I'm going to try to light up kind of everything underground and like a big wide area over here. Ooh, this is like one of these nice kind of big round, oops, more abandoned mineshaft down there. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same abandoned mineshaft that we have discovered before or a different one, because I feel like I've traveled... It's probably the same one. Those things are pretty big. I hear a zombie, but do not see him right now. Perhaps he's down here? Hello, zombie. No, I think I'm getting farther away from that zombie. Yes, so other challenge maps. What is the name of it? Like, they're survival maps. Like, they're not adventure maps. Adventure maps are the ones where describes the kind of genre of map where you don't break blocks. And so it's still a survival map because you break blocks and you try to survive and you fight bad guys. But is it like a challenge map, or what's the general name for a Vex map or a 3-2 map? I think there might be terminology that I'm just not aware of. There's always CTM. Yeah, it was Goods 404 CTM because it's Complete the Monument, where basically you're trying to get all the victory items. Yeah, I don't know if there's a better word for that. But right now, the hot one is Vex's Waking Up, Super Hostile, number 14. And so I've been watching a few playthroughs of that. And I believe I've mentioned before, it seems like it is an extremely difficult map. And so it is... Oops! Alright, should have seen that coming. Kind of entertaining and kind of painful to watch my friends Schism and Pungence, who are one of the sets of folks who are playing through this map that I am watching. Yeah, those guys are going through Waking Up, and they are... What are they? 7, 11, 22, 84. I forget how many episodes in, and I think they might have found one wool. But yes, it is rough. And yeah, those guys are struggling a little bit. And so, admittedly, it seems like all the videos that they've put up so far are things that they might have recorded a number of days or weeks ago. And so perhaps by now they're having more success. Guys, I wish you the best of luck. Let me know if you need any help. And wow, all right, I'm like coming up underneath the mine shaft. This is only an efficiency 2 shovel that I had lying around, and so it's going to be not as great for getting the wood as my other shovel, but it will do in place of an axe. And once again, I need some more torches, torches, torches. Brian has lots of inventory space, and so why is he only crafting 1 stack of torches at a time? Nobody knows. Yes, there we go. So yeah, Waking Up, in any case, Waking Up, yeah, as I said, I'm glad it's a map that I am, watching as opposed to playing, because it seems like a real grind. But at the same time, I really do want to improve my skills in terms of general Minecraft play and being able to fight the mobs and have clever strategies for approaching different areas so that I would be able to tackle such a map in the future. And so I've been thinking about other super hostile maps or whatever that I might want to play and do kind of like a series again. Oops, hello. I found a cave spider spawner, which I just let spawn a cave spider, but I think probably only one. I just heard some lava, and it's probably right below there, and so let's be very careful. Although not too careful. So one thing I was thinking about, like after I died in the previous episode and fell in the lava and lost all of my stuff, I tend to be too reactionary about such events, which is when that happens, then all of a sudden I like change my play style and get more conservative. And I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure that's the wrong thing to do, because this is interesting, these rails that are just like sitting on top of nothing. If I give a block update, will that just fall out? It does not. That's pretty interesting, actually. Actually, I have to break the rail, even though it's not sitting on anything. Wonder if there's a way to kind of glitch that, you know, like pushing pistons or taking advantage of some other game glitch. That skeleton might be trying to find me. Because if you could have like a sky rail system that wasn't sitting on anything and just like rails floating in the sky. And that could be another kind of crazy Brian transportation option. Although I don't think I would use that because I try not to rely on glitches. And I just place that down on top of the rails. I'm getting yeah, off topic here. Right. Yeah, I tend to be too reactionary with bad events. The real fact of the matter that I need to keep inside of is that like I fall in lava and lose my inventory like once a year, and you ought not change your daily play style just to mitigate the risks of things that happen once a year. I'm pretty sure the right thing to do is the things that I have been doing, and possibly just try to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, if you're only dying once a year to lava, you know, like, that's okay. You're doing okay. There's the whole idea of kind of false positives and false negatives. Ooh, that's not a bad little loot chest. I will grab all of that. Yeah, and how much risks you're willing to take in order to achieve success. And yeah, the whole thing with kind of like risks and risk analysis or whatever, like if you're not dying occasionally, then you're not taking enough risks. You're just kind of slowing yourself down. And so I need to be happy to be dying occasionally and only occasionally, but still being able to make fast progress in this world. And yeah, I am making fast progress in this world. I forget... I didn't reset the episode numbers when I kind of started this season or this new world in Exploration and Tactics, and so I think it was somewhere in the 50s, and so we're only about, you know, like 20 episodes in, and I'm relatively geared up. One of the things I want to do next, possibly like, you know, next over the long term of like, I don't know, the next couple of weeks of episodes possibly, is maybe start considering somewhere to have like a hall of blocks and try to collect like all of the blocks in the game. Because I think that might be fun to do, and there's a lot of stuff in the game at this point in 1.3. And yeah, we're sufficiently kind of geared up and far enough along that that's definitely kind of like a doable thing to try to strive for and achieve. I would like to find a little bit more of an exciting area, so I'm going to make a cut, and I'll see you guys in a moment. All right, here is another area to explore. Ooh, with another chest. And... just a zombie sound. What do we got over here? Yeah, nothing too exciting, but once again, I will happily take it and be aware of the fact that there seems to be some lava around the corner that has caught a zombie on fire, and so let's be careful about that. Ooh, emerald ore! All right, that's exciting. Oh, and someone pointed out in comments on the previous video that right down near where I died, actually, there was some emerald ore. Oh, and there's some gold over here. All right, great. We're getting down into better stuff. There was some... emerald ore that I failed to notice on the screen and mine up. And so that's happy as well, because it means I didn't grab that right before I fell in the lava. Yes, I have been trying to stay spoiler-free about stuff that's coming up in 1.4, and thank you guys. Like, people in the comments have been trying to restrain themselves and be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you what's coming up, but there's some exciting stuff that's coming up. And so that is appreciated. And I think I'll try to do this and try to take out some cobwebs that way, perhaps. Yeah, that worked pretty well. And so I'm not sure. I think possibly there was a cave spider spawner over here that I already took out because I don't see one through all the cobwebs over here. So I think I'm safe for the moment, is the point of all that. Yes, so I've been trying to stay spoiler-free. It's very hard because now, like, you know, anytime I'm searching just like general like YouTube videos or looking at anything on Reddit, I see all these titles with words like witches and bats. And so apparently, like, I think I've heard that they're going to try to do another Halloween update and kind of like aim for Halloween. And so I guess some of the new things that are coming are going to be witches and bats. But that's about the end of what I know about it. So don't tell me any more about it. And I'll try to keep, you know, the rest of it a surprise, other than just kind of like knowing that that's some of the stuff that's coming. There is a creeper walking around somewhere, I believe. Yes, but the reason that I mentioned that is, yes, I have not played much more cluster chunk or nail or any of that other kind of PvP stuff lately. Because the folks who are doing that, for the most part, or at least the guys I know who have been doing it, have been playing it on the snapshots and doing some updates with kind of like new features of the maps and things, which is fine. They're allowed to do it, but at the same time, I'm trying to steer clear of the snapshots and not get any spoilers. So I think it's unlikely that you'll see me play any more, cluster chunk or nail or different things like that in the near future. And why did I just come here? Oh, right. Torches, 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 torches. Brian needs to come up with new little things to say as the second line of the Torches song in order to keep being entertaining. All right, let's try going over here. Yes, but even if I am not doing that particular kind of Minecraft PvP whatever stuff of late, that doesn't mean that there isn't any to watch, because it seems like we are coming up on RMCT3, the, what is it, Reddit Minecraft Race for the Wool Championship Tournament. I don't remember what the acronym is. Third season of that. And so me and the KGBs, we are not participating this go round. But at the same time, there are lots of good folks, and I'm sure that the kind of like level of, ooh, I think I just found another emerald, huzzah! Levels of kind of competition are, you know, like continuing to rise, and this time I think they're going to have fewer maps, which I think will be a good thing overall for the tournament. So that people can kind of like follow and have time to kind of practice everything overall. And at the same time, I know there's still, you know, even if I'm not in it, like a number of other people that you guys probably know, people like Etho and I think 3-2 and other folks who are on different teams who are going to be participating in that tournament. And so I haven't watched any of it yet, but I think they already have started some of the matches. And so for those of you who enjoy watching those types of things, I would encourage you to, check that stuff out. And let's see, I have a few other topics. Yeah, this might end up being a full episode for today. So yeah, one of the things, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a short episode because I do actually now have a new solid-state disk drive that I want to put in the computer, but I haven't put it in yet. It is late Friday night, and so I wanted to have something that was going to go up for Saturday on my channel. But at the same time, tonight I want to try to crack open the box on the computer and try to install this new disk drive and try it out. Yeah, and so I will be doing that shortly after I get this recording. Oh, I guess I have to record this and edit it and upload it. I guess I won't be able to do that tonight. I'll have to do that tomorrow morning. Yes, but hopefully that will kind of resolve some of the occasional fraps issues that I encounter, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know, pretty much anybody that you watch occasionally has some fraps lag issues when they're playing Minecraft. We call it lag. I guess technically lag deals with latency, and it's just kind of like frame rate drops that aren't due to latency in the game or multiplayer, that kind of stuff, but that's what everybody calls it, lag. Yes, alright, I think I've become stuck in kind of an uninteresting portion of this mineshaft, and so I will make another cut and see you guys in a moment. Alright, looks like we have some more darkness over here, and for those of you paying very close attention at home, I am off camera, occasionally taking 10 oops, hello, 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 I want to get over there. I'm caught on blocks. Alright. Let's kill this guy. This guy apparently is in some light or has become passive or something. I'm not sure. Oh, he's stuck. Gotcha. Great. And I think with a little bit more light, this thing will be disabled. Great. And since I'm not trying to farm them, we go ahead and we break the spawner. Huzzah! That was awesome. I did not even get poisoned once with that cave spider spawner. I definitely need to learn better. What are the right ways to take advantage of fence posts, because fence posts are a very useful ally in the war against cave spiders. I know, but I haven't really practiced kind of like taking advantage of that. And so that would be kind of like a good technique for me to practice. That would be especially useful for ultra hardcore again. I always say that I'm trying to. Once again, for anyone who's forgotten, like I don't enchant my weapons or armor in exploration and tactics, simply because I want to try to simulate the typical kind of like conditions that you're in for ultra hardcore, and also just try to get better practice about not taking very much damage from mobs. Although at the same time, I'm willing to, I'm not trying to avoid every little bit of damage as I'm doing this, because I think that would slow me down too much. Oh, this goes nowhere. I thought this was going to be another place that we could go that was going to be exciting. All right, I might need to make another cut here in order to find another piece of exciting bit of mine shaft. Unless there's one right here. Looks like there might be something here. Yes, because I enjoy trying to have exciting things, at least, I don't know how exciting it is, somewhat exciting video on the screen when I'm just doing kind of like more of these talky episodes where I'm talking about topics. Yeah, so I'm going to make a cut and find a different part of the cave system. Aha! Apparently it is a different mine shaft, because I'm pretty sure that I found this, boss room, dirt floor, whatever you call it, which I believe is kind of like technically in terms of the terrain generation, where each mine shaft kind of begins at spawn and then has different corridors that kind of lead out from this room. And I believe I found the mine shaft, or this, this room in the previous mine shaft that I had been exploring. Apparently there is a skeleton over here that I hadn't even seen. Not doing any very good job of avoiding any damage from him over there. Yes, and so it is a different mine shaft, and so that is cool. In terms of topics, I think I had one or two more. Let me take a look at my list. I talked about that, I talked about that, I talked about that. Oh yes, finally, in terms of comments on the previous video, I was talking about, ooh, here's a nice view of, wow, Zisto would love this. Nice ravine that's kind of like filled at the bottom with lava. Yeah, I think people say that they encounter those somewhat frequently, but I don't see those kind of ravines that are entirely lava bottoms all that often. Yeah, when I was talking about apples, someone was like, what do you think of Fuji apples? And honestly, I can't remember if I've ever had a Fuji apple, and they're definitely like right there in the store. And someone said they rival Honeycrisps. And so that is definitely, like information to be explored. And so perhaps next time I'm at the store, in addition to getting the apples that I know that I like, I will continue to try a few more varieties, just to get my own opinion on some of that. But with that, I believe I've covered all the topics I had for today, and so I think I want to go ahead and cut off the video for today. We've done some cave exploring. We're kind of like feeling good about getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, and at the same time, I also really want to get this video edited and uploaded so that I can open up the computer and try out this new disk drive. And so hopefully, maybe on Sunday, I'll be recording with you on a different disk drive and be less likely to have any fraps lag. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Yeah, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.